I'm gonna strip wash the rest of these, separate the tea towels and the microfiber cloths, and yeah, just get them a little bit cleaner, I think. Way to go.
So here's the recipe I like. This is borax. I got it from Coles. I think it was like $8 a tub, but a little bit goes a long way. So use 1/3 of a cup of that, and I just put it into the container that I'm going to soak the clothes in. 1/3 of a cup of the booster. You can sometimes double this, especially if you're doing it in a bathtub. And just a dash of laundry liquid. You don't need a lot, it's just a little bit. Basically, you're washing your clothes again, but using the borax and the whiting just helps to bring the dirt and stuff out. I don't know, there's a whole science behind it online. I have boiled the kettle a couple of times so I can use some boiling hot water, because I find that the hotter the water, the better it is. And I couldn't get this container underneath the hot water sink that we had, and it's too heavy to lift up. So I just boiled the kettle and then used it to fill it up. So what you're going to want to do also is get a wooden spoon or something, because that water is hot as, and also you're kind of using chemicals, even though it is only like laundry liquid and stuff. If you cannot get it on yourself, that's helpful. I just give it a bit of a stir around, and then I dump all the tea towels and stuff in there. Now I'm strip washing these because I noticed there was a little bit of mold on some of the tea towels. Some of them were a bit grey in areas, and others just didn't seem to be absorbing as much water when I was drying the dishes. So it means that there's obviously a build up of whatever on the tea towels. So by strip washing it, it really helps to just pull out grime, dirt, the build up of soap residue and all the rest of it. So you put these into, I'm using the mop bucket and I let these soak for a good 4 or 5 hours. And you get a little bit obsessed with pounding at the washing, especially because you can see it's starting to change color already. So it's working, and yeah, it's like good old washing. Now, microfiber cloths are a little bit different. So you put them in their own bucket, and again, you're going to use boiling hot water, but you're then going to put in there vinegar. Don't put in any extra soap or anything like that. It just needs the soap residue from general washing and stuff to be stripped. Now apparently microfiber cloths you're not meant to wash with anything other than vinegar anyway in a washing machine, but you do you. I just tend to sometimes chuck them in when I'm doing a massive clean. But yeah, saw a thing on TikTok, don't we all, where someone was saying white vinegar is what you want to use to make sure that they stay nice and absorbent. Now the last one I have is just a little bucket here. Again, it's got some boiling hot water in there, pre-filled this one before, and I'm going to put all the face washers and stuff. My son always has a face washer with him because he can't do the texture of tissues, so face washers are easier. You can't do hankies either. It's just, yeah, it's a long story, but anyway. So I have barely got any borax or the OxyClean type stuff left, so I've literally just eyeballed it and stuck it in there. And again, just like literally a dash of liquid, and it's again going to sit there and soak for 4 or 5 hours. I ended up accidentally leaving these overnight, so don't panic. At least here in Australia we don't have nights so cold that we end up having things frozen over. Again, you'll spend a lot of time mixing around like you're making a cake. You can see some of the color start changing immediately. It's really good. So yeah, it's all there, and every now and again I come out and just give them a little bit of a poke and a prod. So next we're going to just rinse them out individually. So you want to just squeeze out as much water as you can. You'll see some dirty water coming out when I give it a bit of a squeeze, and then throw it into the washing machine, and don't add anything else in there. No more powder, liquids, anything. You just want to run it as a normal wash. I wish I had some better before and after photos for you, but I don't. But trust me that they do come out a lot cleaner and they work a lot better. So we're going to now wash the face washers, and just tipping it out, you can see the dirty water that's here. I didn't tip too much more out because I was worried the cloths would end up in the toilet, so I just did that little bit to show you. Plus I'm doing it one-handed, so you need to be careful. Next we're going to strip wash my Zumba clothes. I do this about once every 6 months, but I've actually been doing a bit of an experiment. So I was sent some washing cloths from Lucent Globe, and I've been solely using these when I wash my clothes. You can see how clear the water is just there, and after 4 hours you can see that the water is a little bit dirty, which is probably just regular sweat and stuff, but there's just not the darkness to the water that they would be with like tea towels and other things like that. So I'm super impressed. And what you're meant to do when you do strip washing as well is actually strip wash clean clothes. So you're not putting dirty washing in, because otherwise you're basically just pulling the current dirt and sweat and everything else out of clothing. You're meant to wash stuff and then strip wash it, because the strip wash is meant to help pull out, as I said, the soap residue and the build up. So it's super cleaning your clothes, if that makes sense. Straining some of the clothes can take a little bit. I have done it in the bathtub to show you guys the color change with the water. Otherwise I would just do it in my washing machine, because we do have the availability to put hot water in there, but I just wanted to show you guys how it all goes. I guess I could have used like a clear container and dipped it in to pull up some water, but in the bathtub it just makes sense. Plus in the bathtub it just looks better as well when you're doing the bed sheets and stuff like that, but physically sometimes bending over and trying to strain out as much water can take a little bit of an effort. But yeah, so again, put it into the washing machine, no extra powder, no liquid, no nothing, just run it as a normal cycle and then hang it out and dry as per normal. Now here is the quilt cover that we had. You can see it's a little bit yellow on the undersides. Most of it is just dirt. It's been on the floor, what can I say? So we're going to give that a really good strip wash, as well as the bed sheet. I've got a single bed sheet here and also some pillowcases. They've been waiting for a rainy day, so we're finally going to get around to strip washing them, and we've thrown them in there. Now because this is dirty, like I said, you're meant to do clean, you can see already that a lot of dirt and stuff is coming out. That black sheet that's there, when I felt it in my hands as it was dry, you could feel it was greasy. It's sweat, being on a bed, it's what happens. If you can feel a sheet that doesn't feel right, then it needs to be strip washed, because some of it is sweat, soap residue, build up, all the rest of it. So strip washing is going to help with that. Now the water wasn't hot in the bath. It tends to lose a lot of heat in here, so sometimes strip washing is not always effective, and I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. Again, here I'm just draining out as much water as I can. The water is trying to get out while I'm trying to pull everything out of the bath. It was just crazy. Now here is the quilt cover that's out. You can see it is a lot wider, so it's done a really good job. But here is the sheets that I've hung up. As you can see, it has collected in one area some residue, which would be a whole lot of soap and sweat and skin and all the rest of it. So you have two options. You can either, one, re-wash this, like just in the washing machine as another cycle, or you can choose to go through the whole process again, which is what I have done in the past, especially with bed sheets, because if I feel that they're still greasy in my hand, they need another strip wash, because they need to have all that excess pulled out of it. So I will put them in the bathtub again for 3 to 4 hours, boiling hot water, and then wash them again. I don't care if it takes me a second wash. It's how I'm going to make sure that I get the best out of my sheets. And then that way you have that beautiful soft feeling when you jump into bed. As a side note, a lot of people will say that the strip washing will bring out the dyes. That's hence why the color does change. Now, probably that is correct, but also you are putting in that oxy white to try and help brighten clothes anyway. So either or, I wouldn't do this on brand new clothing, but I would do it on clothing that you've had for a couple of months, especially, as I said, that you've washed and washed and washed. It really helps with my Zumba clothes, as I've said, because the smell that gets inside of some of your bras and then the bands of the clothing with the sweat and everything else, there are some things that you just can't get rid of washing. We are fragrance sensitive to many things in the house, so I can't use a lot of products to help overcome the smell, and so by strip washing it just helps eliminate the need for all of those products and also gets the clothes clean. If you give strip washing a go, let me know. If you have any questions down below. What I've told you today is just also what I've learned from the internet, and this is the most basic thing that I do and it works for us. I hope that this has helped explain anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.